You're listening to the TechNet Show, your weekly dose of the latest tech stories, analysis, interviews, and opportunities in the world of tech. If you're a techie or an enthusiast looking to stay up to date, this is the show for you. Be a part of the conversation and stay connected to our tech community on Telegram at TechNet Show. In today's episode, the duo shares productivity hacks for remote workers and techies. Remote work is increasingly becoming a norm these days. However, despite its several advantages, employers are currently facing a handful of challenges that breed reluctance in other organizations' adoption of this work model. The issue of productivity is one of such notable challenges that managers and employees or freelancers face in today's remote workplace. So in today's episode, Samuel and I will be looking at some of the proven productivity hacks remote workers and techies can adopt to add value and improve their lives working from home. We understand their peculiarities, but these few tips cut across a wide spectrum of remote workers. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Victoria Imager, and Samuel will get us started with the first productivity hack. Over to you, Sam.
Hey guys, the first productivity hack we're going to look at today will be to have a focus time. Focus time is the time you invest your full concentration on a particular task. These are tasks that usually demand your creativity or your optimum utilization of your skill. So like as a writer, maybe you're given an article to write of which you really need to put in your best. Or as a designer, you're given, produce so design before so deadline. So your focus time should be time that you invest your full concentration into making sure that you get the best out of the tasks you're given. So, when you're actually having the focus time should be inculcated in your calendar. You should map it out on your calendar. Okay, and let your team leader or any team leader or your line manager, anyone that you're actually really reporting to, let him be aware of, that this time is actually my focus time. I don't need distraction this time. Your team leader, normally you should understand that at this time, the only thing that can actually entertain are emergencies. Apart from that, nothing should be entertained. And they should try as much as possible to respect this productivity time. So, and if possible, my own method is I switch off every form of notification on social media. No message can come into my WhatsApp and I won't be able to even see the message by that. So stay away from social media all through this period until the task is done. If you are mapping out 4 hours as your focus time, the 4 hours, you know that no social media, no Facebook, no WhatsApp, no Twitter, no Instagram till you are done with the task. And try as much as possible to limit the noise because the environment also counts. Limit the noise and every form of distraction. That's why you need to have you need to have a workstation. Workstation should be in a place that there's no noise, there's nothing, so that you can actually get the best out of your focus time.
All right. Yeah. So the second thing we would like to look at as a productivity hack that you could use and maximize for your efficient work at home is having a tidied workspace. All right. So if you have created a workstation for yourself at home, it's important to keep your room and that particular space tidied up because environment matters. For some people or a lot of people, when a place is scattered, it affects your clarity, your ability to think fast, your ability to stay organized in your mind when you're working. So it's important to have your room arranged, ensure that your table is cleared, things are well organized, and you don't have things that are distracting to you. Okay. So I think that's that for that. It goes a long way to help your mind in being focused and in being able to think clearly without distractions. Anything you want to add, Samuel?
Yeah, another thing we need to look at too outside the tidy workspaces. Let's look at the strict schedule. Schedule is actually one of, I think, almost all remote workers. It actually affects all remote workers. Personally, I normally start from monthly schedule. Your whole month you should have by the beginning, maybe October is just starting. Maybe 2 to 3 days before the end of the particular month, you should start making your monthly schedule. Okay, and that monthly schedule should be divided into weeks. The weekly schedule, and it really should be divided into daily schedule. So, and one trick in getting the best out of your day is always starting the day with the harder tasks. If you are starting the day by 8, it should be the harder tasks first, followed by the less difficult tasks. That way you'll be able to finish up the whole, because a lot of people can have 5 tasks to do in a day, and at the end of the day, they end up doing 2 or 1. Because most of the times they start with the less difficult tasks. Before they can get to the difficult one, their mind is actually occupied and they can't actually invest their focus to get to the more difficult, the harder tasks. That's why your focus time should first of all be geared towards tackling the difficult tasks or the harder tasks, and then other ones can follow suit.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. So another thing we should look at, another hack tip that we should look at is starting early. Okay, everybody have a circadian rhythm, right? That's that time of the
Yeah.
day that you feel more productive, that you are sure of being more productive. Now, research shows that a lot of work or the best caliber of work is done when someone is actually more energetic. And oftentimes, it happens to a lot of people. Oftentimes, this moment could be between the time you wake up from sleep at early hours of the day. So starting early means that, okay, that period between 5 a.m. to let's say 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. could be your prime time, could be your peak time, because you're fresh, your mind is open, and you have that energy to actually put in the work. So most times it's important, if you want to stay productive working from home, it's important you invest your time into starting early, scheduling your work for the times that you know you are most productive and getting those tasks done, right? Now, working from 5 a.m. in the morning till 10 a.m., right, like we just said, could be effective, right? It will give you that good head start ahead of your work calendar and help you make deliverables. Now, this may differ depending on the type of remote work you do, okay? Some people are into hourly remote kind of work, and the time zones issues could interfere with this. But despite what type of remote job you are doing, early mornings and evenings are always like the best time to like put in the work. So starting early goes a long way to define how your entire day will be, regardless of whether you are doing hourly work and the time zone is like 2 p.m. West African time, right? So I think that's just it. Start early and it will help you to stay effective all through the day.
Okay, you can also look at taking breaks.
Yes.
Let's look at taking breaks. I believe the way the human body was created, and okay, for the Christians, God created the world in 6 days, and on the seventh day He rested. So for you to give out your best, for you to be at your best, you need to take intermittent rest. Maybe you're actually been on your desk for 5 hours. At least give yourself 30-minute rest. Stand up, make stretch a little bit, maybe walk around your apartment or step outside for a bit and come back. You actually be refreshed. That period, you can use that period to take your lunch, take snacks, and relax your mind. When you come back, you'll be actually refreshed for the work.
Yes, that works a great deal for most of us. It does, and we greatly advise you do that. So another productivity hack tip that you can use is to ensure that you maintain a healthy work-life balance. Now, maintaining a healthy work-life balance just means you knowing when to turn the switch off. You need to unwind after a tedious and hectic day. You should understand your body needs rest, like we've already said, and you need to keep your mind active. So to avoid you burning out after such a stressful day, you need to have a specific time at the end of each day where you can say, this is the time I am switching off. I am not going beyond this time. If it is 10 p.m. West African time, you said all work are postponed till the next day. It is 10 p.m. You're not going further. You're not going to do much more than that. It is time to rest. It is time to bond with your family. It's time to watch some movies together or read a book. It's time to just take a break and rest for the next day so that you can, feel refreshed and energized for another day, not work all through the night until another morning for another stressful and long day. Now, weekend and public holidays should also be work free, except for days where there are emergencies. We know these things are a bit spontaneous. There are days where, okay, it's 10 p.m. and then there's that emergency work. Your employer calls you, you need to do this. Except for rare days like that, it's important you have that shut down time for yourself. Do not do any work over the weekend. Do not try to bring work to your holiday. That's a way to maintain a healthy work balance. Now, the trick to having this free time to rest and do other leisure activities is to practice the previously mentioned hack tips, like sticking to your strict schedule, starting early, and having that focused time. Now, the reason most people experience this burnout is that they spend so much time in other frivolities, right? Other things that do not really matter at that time, distractive events or activities. And then before you know, they are all caught up with deadlines, trying so hard to meet up with deadlines. So in a bid to actually meet those deadlines, you're not doing your work efficiently. You're submitting works that are deliverables that are not up to the mark.
The standard.
Yeah, up to
Okay,
standard.
You mentioned something about when you're talking about the healthy work-life balance. Something came into my mind. I know a developer that he works 8 to 4, truly 8 to 4. Yes, the company is working for actually no, this is his schedule. So you don't give him any work, and his weekends are always actually free. He's not a Nigerian.
Okay.
So he's one of the top dev in the world. So his weekends, and actually a family man too. So he said family time is from 4 in the evening. Don't call him. Don't anything. He actually switch off all his device from 4.
Wow.
He's not on Slack by 4. Anything from 4 p.m. is not actually available anymore. So the company understands that and actually adapt to it. So they know that all his availability is from 8 to 4. I think when I started remote or newly, even to now, when I'm actually starting to work with a new client or I'm working freelance for someone, they ask me what is your own time schedule? What times will you be free? I think they do ask this thing. It's just that most times we are not always let me say too specific with our own time schedule. Said, okay, I'm free from 8 to 4 in the evening. That's the normal 9 to 5. Maybe you're working 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. And that's normal official period. And although there's actually a lunch break by 12 to 1, he will take a lunch break 30 minutes. By 4 o'clock, by a few minutes to 4, every meeting, he actually out of every meeting. The company understands and actually what's in pulling his time schedule. The man is actually so good. He's so good at what he's doing. So the company understands that. His weekends, you don't call him on weekends for any work.
I think
everyone
if we can
adopt
do that,
this,
because one tricky thing about this whole remote idea is that if you're not so adamant about you're not so strict to ensure to let the employers know this is your red time, nobody crosses it or something like that. I think if you're not speaking out or doing something like that, you stand a chance of running an entire 24 or 22 hours, like they can infringe into your time, infringe into your personal time. And I think that happens a lot with full-time remote jobs, because I think it's a bit more flexible if it's just an independent freelance remote job you're doing and it's not a full-time job. So it's easier to state your demands. Or even in full-time, I think it's wise that if it's getting out of hand, out of bounds, you can politely let your employers know what so and so time is my family bond time or whatever you want to do, and then let nothing cross it. Before doing this, ensure you're somebody that delivers on time and your delivery is actually top notch. Sure. If not, nobody's going to listen to that.
Yeah, sure.
So that's just it.
Vicky, I think the more reason why some people do not really have a strict a healthy work-life balance is because of the nature of their work or because of the quality of their work. Because when you're actually thinking you're doing your employer a favor, and maybe the employers actually managing you, so you will not want to make them get angry. You want to be available 2/7.
Exactly.
But if you know that their work is highly profitable, your work is top notch. Nothing someone will tell you. The person will do it.
They will respect your time. Exactly. Like what you hear so far? Make sure not to miss any of our episodes by subscribing to us now and joining our community on Telegram at t.me/technoshow. Now back to the show.
So I think we need to look at being one of the best in the whatever you're setting your hand. You need to give out the best work out there, because whenever your content, your designs, or maybe anything you're working on, your code and erase, your program, you're writing anything, it's actually the best out there. When you give them, okay, this is my own condition, I actually work like this, and they know you deliver a lot. They'll actually stick to it.
Yes, they will.
Okay, I have another point. I still have one more point. That is being in the community. I'm going to take this in from my own personal standpoint. Where I am now is because of the communities I belong to. Community in terms of crypto, community in terms of work and the rest. So you cannot survive out there alone, or you can do, but you won't go. Someone said there's a quote that said, if you want to work fast, work alone, but you want to go far, work with someone. So if you actually want to go far in terms of your career, you need a community. Community may not be 100 or 200 people. Even you may not actually you may not be opportunity to be in a community. You can actually have a group of friends that, okay, this is what we do. So being in a community will help you to help you discover opportunities in your space, because there are a lot of opportunities out there. I normally tell people that the difference between where you are and where you need to be is that you don't have the information to get to where you want to go. The information I've actually been exposed to the past 9 months, I got to know this information way earlier. I think I would have maybe different vision, or maybe I've been in a different place from where I am now. But I'm so grateful that I still know what to do, because I know that a lot of people out there that they don't have zero knowledge of what to do in this aspect. Most times you may try as much as possible to search. There are a lot of resources on Google. you may try to Google, but at a point, some privileged information needs you to be in a community. You
Yeah,
need
I
to be in a
agree.
community. We being a community will help you get in touch with softwares. Because if you don't have that, this is work. It's more of your software, the software you're actually using on the platform. Maybe you can see particular software online, but you may not actually know how good the software is until you ask someone, what for this software now? How is it? Has anyone used this software before? That's when you start hearing testimonials about the software. You may kind of, okay, wow, that's nice. I think I need to use it. You can't try all the software you cannot try all the software that's available in your particular field or in a particular niche. So that's why you need a community. It also help you. This software actually, you and I know that actually they are essential in helping you in performing so good
Yes,
in
yeah.
your work. Communities also help in keeping you abreast with what's happening in the industry. Like I said earlier, it's actually vast ocean of information out there. A lot of things are happening. You may not be able to read all of it, but your friend will come up, so I saw so and so it happening here. And actually that's how you keep yourself updated what is happening in and around your industry.
Okay, that's very true. I like the part of productivity apps because recently I got to know about some new apps that I could use to help my work as a designer better, some productivity tools like that. So being in a community where people are sharing those information is important. Now, the last but not the least that we will share on today's topic is the fact that you don't have to stay hooked on perfectionism, right? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people are perfectionists, like they are not going to hand in their work until it is perfect to them, right? And that it has a way of making you stay longer on a task beyond normal. You could burn out. Okay, it doesn't help you stay productive because at the end of the day, what employers are looking for is not, they want a good work, they want quality work, but you don't have to take your go beyond the deadlines, go beyond the time frame because you're trying to make it perfect. So ensure that you do your task at a scheduled time, hand it in. If there is need for improvement, obviously they will let you know. You're not dropping a shabby work, but trust your own instincts and give yourself that time frame that, okay, these are my productive hours. So I'm going to put my mind into this task, get it done and submit, and let's just get the feedback. Because if you wait and keep critiquing it yourself back and forth, that is not good enough, is not yet good, and all of that, you tend to waste a lot of time on one particular thing when you are supposed to work on several things that could help you just get your work done on time and then have more free time. So it's important that you don't stay hooked on perfectionism. It's not all about it must be perfect before I turn it in. All right, Samuel, anything to add to that?
Yeah, that is exactly if someone will utilize or adhere to what we have actually mentioned so far, I think the dilemma of meeting deadline or giving a good job will be actually eliminated. You understand?
Exactly.
What you mentioned last is actually at the point that every other thing fails. So you can actually, okay, since I cannot get this thing done, okay, I cannot get this 100%, and the deadline is just the next 5 minutes. You can actually get it up to 90% and submit. But no matter what you do, make sure it doesn't get to this point. Try to plan your day, employ all what you have actually mentioned so far, and see you at the top.
Okay, so these are some of the few tips, productivity hacks, tips that we could share on this particular topic. I know there are lots more that you could actually use, and you probably have your productivity tips. You could actually share that with us. We would love to know. Send us a comment. We'd love to hear what you do to make yourself productive as a remote worker. Hope you find this really helpful. You can share with your friends, and we will catch you next week. Thanks for being a part of today's conversation on the TechNats Show. Do follow us on social media at The TechNats Show. Join our growing tech community on Telegram at TechNats Show so you'll never miss any updates. If you find our content valuable, we'd love you to drop us comments or likes, or you could share it with your friends too. Catch you next week.